Hi everyone, it's Andy and welcome back to my channel. You might notice that I'm in a different room. Yes, I am in our lounge. I am temporarily um, sewing in a corner of our lounge because I gave my room to our 3-year-old son. So I'm pregnant now, 4 months pregnant, and I want our 3-year-old to have, his own room. So my room is the only room that he can have at the moment. But yeah, hopefully it's only temporary, and I get my own room. In the future, near future. But all is well. I started sewing at a corner of a study room, and that was fine. It's just that I have too much stuff, so a lot of my stuff are they're everywhere in the house. So there's some in my bedroom, some still in my son's room, some in our sheds. They're everywhere. If you can see our TV, like what do you call this IKEA rack or shelf, all those boxes contain fabrics. So I much prefer fabrics to be seen. Oops. We just had a delivery. Anyway, today we're gonna be making a memory bear. So this pattern is what I use to make my memory keepsakes. Some of you know that making memory keepsakes is my job every day. I make memory quilts, memory bears, camels, dogs, and memory blankets and cushions, and all others that include memory keepsakes. So yeah, I'll show you how I make them, and hopefully this will encourage you to start making your own memory bear for your little one, or it could be from any loved one's clothing, it could be from your clothing, or anyone, or you might actually start selling these and making for others. And I really hope that this video will have a positive impact, and will be helpful. Right, I'm going to show you what we need and what pattern we're going to use. It's not mine, I think I bought the pattern on Etsy a long time ago. I'll try and put it in the description box, and you can just check that out. I do love the way this is put together. It's about 20 inches, I think. I made it a bit bigger because from the pattern, I asked someone to make acrylic rulers or acrylic pattern for me, because I use them quite a lot, and having paper patterns is not really gonna work for me. So I love these acrylic patterns. So yeah, so if you know anyone, and if you have a pattern that you use almost every day and paper is not really working for you, you could either print and laminate them. That's one of my ways as well to use patterns over and over. Or my favorite one, it can get quite expensive, but my favorite one is the acrylic. It is an investment, so aside from buying the pattern, you still have to pay for the acrylic, which in UAE is not a lot. Especially I've been with this this fellow mama who has a business with laser cutting and stuff like that, and we've worked for a while, so I get good price. So yeah, let's get started. Okay, so here are the things that we need to make a memory bear. Well, at least that these are the things that I use and might be really helpful first I have all these baby clothes. So we're making one for my customer. And here is a turning tool. I'm not sure where it's from, but yeah, it's some kind of a turning tool. And I have pinking shears. It's nice to have this. You don't have to have it, but it's nice to have. Fabric scissors, a marker, pen, the pattern, and this is very important for this project, especially for baby clothes. They're very stretchy, right? And when making a toy or a plushie or yeah, these kinds of stuffed bears, it's very important that they don't really stretch, because they can tort and you know, make that shape a bit different than what you intended it to be. So yeah, so avoid that. I use this interfacing. One side is iron-on interfacing, and so this is the sticky side, and that's the soft side. It's only medium weight. And then I like to use the safety eyes, which is 16 mm. I know it took me a while to figure out the right size for the eyes, but yeah, finally figured out that I like the size 16 mm. And also stuffing for the bear. I might add a few things here and there that I'll use, but also one thing that I don't have here at the moment is felt for the nose of the bear. And of course your sewing machine, needles, and threads. There you go. So let's start by cutting the clothes and try to figure out which part, you know, are we gonna use for the pattern. So I'll figure out what I want for the bear. I like to have matching you know, top of the arms and like same sole of the feet. So depending if I need to embroider on the feet, on the sole of the feet, then I'll use a plain or plainish one, so you can see the embroidery on the sole. Otherwise, if it's not required, then I'll use a patterned fabric. So for this order, we don't need to embroider anything on the bear. So trying to figure out what would be a nice, so especially with the designs like this, might be cute to have, for example, this with a crown on the sole. It just about fits. That would be cute. And the other side could be this one, which is also very cute. So it could be that two sole. That'd be really nice. But again, I do like it matching. So for example, here, that will just cut, which is not so good. So basically, you just have to figure out which parts you're gonna use for, you know, for which design. Especially baby clothes, they have little, you know, sayings or wordings here and there, so you also want to make sure you get them right. So this is actually quite cute, and it fits right well with this is the side of the legs, so that's cute, and that would go on the leg. I do like this to go on the front. So here is my body, front body. So even if it's a bit like that, I think that would be better. So it would look like that, because you can't really get the, I try and avoid the snaps. I don't really like the snaps or that way. Yeah, so it's a bit straight, it's not crooked. Yeah, it's quite cute. but I'm not sure. Doesn't that be good? But then the other side has to be probably this one. This is really pretty also. Okay, anyway, so once you've gathered all your baby clothes or even adult clothes and figured out what you want to do, which parts, then we can start cutting and stabilizing the fabric. Okay, when I iron my interfacing, first I iron the fabric so it's not wrinkled, and then put my interfacing. Sometimes my iron gets too hot that it burns the interfacing. You see what I mean? That's what I meant. Then I'd have to clean the iron out. Right, now that's fine. Okay. So that's basically what I do. And then I do that for the rest of the clothes. Okay, I did something with this. Because it's not enough room, I just cut a bit of piece from the same fabric and sewed it there so I could get a good angle for this piece, because I really want it centered. So like this is great. Then it's good. Now I just need, that's done, that's done. I need the back and the back of the head and the back of the body. So we said we're gonna do this. So what I meant by pairing them up is, for example, this is a pair. Now I'm gonna take one each and put it together, and this, put it together. Right? And then the sewing machine, on the sewing machine, I'm gonna stitch from top to the bottom, leaving this open and the top open, and then from here all the way here, and then I have to leave 2 inches gap for opening for stuffing, and then continue sewing here. So I'll do that on those both of the legs. And for the body, I'm gonna make them face right sides together, and then on the middle part, which is, if you open it, this is the middle seam, I'm going to sew all the way down, leaving this open, so just here. Okay, next, arms, the same like the leg. I'm gonna sew it all the way around, leaving 2 inches opening, and then continue sewing here. And make sure you always secure your stitches beginning and the end, because you're gonna be opening and you're gonna be pulling those threads a lot, and you need them to be very secure. Okay, I'm gonna do the same thing here. I'm gonna pin them in place. Now we get to the head part. So there's your head, and then you just put it together, and then here on the short side, I'm gonna sew 1/4 of an inch, all seam allowances 1/4 of an inch from top to bottom, and that's it. Okay, and that is a pair of that. Later on, Okay, the back. Now the back, you have to sew close the dart like 1/4 of an inch. Once you've done that, put them right sides together and okay, and then sew the long side all the way down, leaving 3 inches. 3 inches of an opening, and then all the way down here. And we've got the ears and the back of the head. Back of the head, you just put them together on one side, sew all the way down. Make sure you follow the pattern as well. I'm sure there are markings. And the ears is just 1/4 of an inch all the way to the curve, and then just leave this open, right? And we're gonna start sewing. Right, I've sewn them all together, and now I'm gonna need my pinky shears. Okay, here you go. I like to cut around. It just opens nicely like that. The alternative to this, if you don't have pinking shears, is to just cut or snip the side like this. Snip, snip, snip. But I like having pinking shears. Also reduces the bulk. It's the back of the head. Here is the face bit. We'll come back to the face and the nose. This is probably a very tricky part for beginners. Here the curves are very important. This, not much. And here, this bit is important. Curves, the curves. Okay, so I actually need to embroider a lily on on one piece of sew. So I'm gonna do that, and then we'll attach it to the leg pieces. So we'll come back to that. But here, this is your head or face, and that's your nose. Now, you can see this thing that goes like this, like wings. And here, put it down a bit. So find the center of the nose, match it to the center of this, and then pin it all the way. So I'll show you what I mean. So that's the center. I'll pin that. And then grab one end and the other end of your face, and then I'll pin. Now I'll pin all the way down. So this makes the face. Pin as much as you can, because you gotta be accurate on this bit. Okay, gotta be very careful on the little curves. Again, take your time. Pin, pin, pin. That will be your best friend. Okay, and then other side. Like that. You go. So then, see, that will be the face. So we're gonna sew 1/4 of an inch all around. Okay, we've done the front of the head, and this is why I like to have a bunny, a bear here, so I could kind of see that. Grab your eyes. If you don't have these safety eyes, you can use buttons, or you can embroider the face, the eyes. So I like to have a sample one, so then I can measure where I want the eyes to go. So here I want to go right here. Go. Go right here. Kind of just eyeball it, but also be very careful with eyeballing. So that looks fine. And now I'm gonna grab my like tiny snip thing and snip just a little hole. Try it out. Here you go. Have a like a millimeter gap there, so I'd have to make sure that I do the same thing on the other side. Oh, these are really big washers. I need to change the washers. This bit. Yeah. Go. Then just do the same thing on the other side. Oops. Right. Lock it. There you have it. Okay. That's the one. It's gonna look like that. Okay, now let's go to this part with the sole. Need to determine where's my left foot and my right foot. So this is gonna be the right foot because I want that showing. That will be the right foot. So we can use the right foot as a sample because I need to embroider on the left foot. Okay, so here, turn it inside out. Okay, now I'm gonna find my center and snip a tiny bit just to mark my center. You can even mark it with your pens, and then from that center, so gotta be face right sides facing together. I'm gonna start pinning. You can use pins, clips, whichever you have or whichever you prefer. Sometimes I use pins, sometimes I use clips. Okay. Also, this is because this is curve, and you don't want to pucker. Make, you know, be very careful. Pin as many as you want. Then just a bit to get that side, and then I'll do the same on this side. So I've pinned all the way around, so I'm just gonna sew 1/4 of an inch all the way around and do the same thing with the other piece. Okay, just like all the curves on our pieces, I've cut it with my pinking shears or snip, you know, good number, good amount, and then turn it inside out. There you go. There's our leg piece. Okay, now we're gonna turn our arm pieces inside out. This is where this tool comes in handy. Just put it in, oops, and then you don't have to have this, but it's just nice to have. I just spin this in place. It stays like that. It's one arm. And the next. Go. Then now, set that aside and grab your ears, a bit of stuffing, and we're gonna put some stuffing inside. And then don't make it full so you can close this bit. And then we'll stitch really close to the edge over there. Same thing here. Right, so I've sewn the ear pieces. Now grab the head piece and attach the ears to the head piece, the front head. So what I like to do is to find the edge of the ear, match it to the seam, the center seam. So I'll open this up. Make sure which one you want to go front. I want the yellow. So this time I'm going to use my clips. It's just easier. Okay, so I'm going to clip this bit. Go, and then same on the other side. So like this. Oops. Okay, and then I'm just gonna go and sew 1/4 of an inch and the other side. Okay, done that. There you go. We have now the head piece. Now find the back piece of the head. So here's the back piece. I just match, this is the neck bit, and that's your neck. So you just match right sides together, okay, and then match the corners, and then clip all the way or pin all the way around. And then after you've clipped or pinned the corners, find the center. Make sure the ears are in the middle. So there's the center of my head. I'm gonna clip it there. Now I'm gonna go clip it all the way around. Gonna need more clips. Okay, now I'm gonna go and sew 1/4 of an inch all around except for the neck part. Leave that open. Okay, now that I've done that, I'm gonna snip the curves. Making sure you don't cut the thread. Okay, turn it inside out. Now we have a pretty face, head, pretty head. It's the back, there is the front. So, it's really cute. Okay, now we put that on the side and we deal with the body. Okay, so here's the body. Now grab the back piece. This is your back piece, remember, with an opening in the middle and the darts on each side. Okay, now this is how it will be. So that will be the back, and you want your leg piece. Open your leg piece like this. If you have to clip in the middle, do that. And I know this is gonna be the right leg piece, so I'm gonna clip it in here. And with that seam of the dart, I'm gonna align my the folded bit of the leg piece, and then pin that way. So I know that's gonna be on the right side of my bear. Right, and do the same thing on the left side. Okay, now we've got the left foot, and I've embroidered Lily. Okay, so we're gonna align it over here. Then sew 1/4 of an inch all the way here. Okay, before I forget, if you want to add your label like I did here, I like to put it behind the leg piece. So it's gonna look, yeah, like that on the leg bit. and it's just hidden, but still you've got the here like a little tag in there. Now push your leg piece inside the your back, like just like this, and then grab your body, front body, and then facing front like that. So these neck pieces should be aligned, and then start pinning on each corner, and then in the middle make sure you align the seams, and then work your way around it. Okay. Clips are really good for this part of the bear. Because it's getting bulky, and I mean, you can still pin, of course, it's just easier. Yeah. And now that we have this, we're gonna sew 1/4 of an inch all around here, leaving the neck open. Now make sure that you secure your stitches beginning and end. Okay, now that we have this, I'm just gonna snip a little bit, and then I could also cut the bulk bits, the super bulky bits. Okay, just snip. Right, so now we have this. Now we're gonna turn it inside out. See, make sure you still have that back opening. So we're gonna turn it inside out. And then we're gonna get our arm pieces. Okay, we're almost there. You can see that the bear is making its shape. Now your arm pieces, we're gonna find the side seams here and place our arms right there. Clip that bit. And then same with the other side. Make sure that the orientation of the arm is correct. Make sure it's in the middle. All right, and now we're just gonna sew 1/4 of an inch for there, just to make it stay in place. Okay, so we have the arms, and now we're only missing the headpiece, which is this bit. So how are we gonna put it together? Okay, so we have to put this back like inside out, or just put them all on the wrong side, so like that. Push it in that big hole. Right, so now they're all inside. Okay, should have this in here. Now you might, this might be a bit confusing. I hope I'm gonna be able to explain it well. But here, if you open this up, you'll determine where the back is the front is, which is, you can just see on the outside. Anyway, now here is your head. So your head has to face down. So like this. So, and the back is in the same way. So we're gonna push this in still on the right side, right? I'm gonna fold it like that. So this is the back and this is the front. Now I'm gonna push it in, inside, insert it inside, and then here is our center of our face, has to align with the seam of the body, front body, and then pin it. And then now find the back of the head. The center seam should align with the center seam of the back of the body. Pin that also. And the side seams should just naturally align, just like this. Okay, this is going to be very tricky to sew under a sewing machine. So what I do first is to hand stitch it. So hand stitch all the way around. I mean, you can totally skip it and just sew it under your machine. If you can, go for it. But usually, to make my life a lot easier, not having to fight all this bulk and seam in tiny little space, then I hand stitch it, you know, to hold it together and then sew under my machine. So, had took a while, but yeah, you can just take it slow and really try and get all the layers and then sew it. So now we have, we're almost done. So we're gonna turn it inside out. Just be very careful. Okay, and here we go. There is our bear, and it just needs stuffing, and I highly recommend stuffing the head part quite firm. So you're gonna sew, we're gonna sew some felt nose. And okay, so I'm just gonna stuff our bear and then we'll be back. Okay, this is a good time for you to sit down on your couch and stuff and watch Judge Judy. And that's what I'm watching right now. So I'm just gonna stuff my bear and then we'll show you later.
I want to hear from the girls. Who's the best talker?